Today is a Thursday, October 26, 2023. Israeli ground offensive in Gaza coincides with West Bank raids. The Israeli army says it conducted an overnight ground raid inside Gaza targeting Hamas positions using tanks. Al Jazeera condemns Israel's indiscriminate assault on Gaza after family members of Al Jazeera's Gaza bureau chief Wael Datou are killed in an air raid. President Biden faces backlash for questioning the Gaza death toll and describing the deaths of innocent Palestinians in the besieged enclave as the price of waging war. Russia-led UN Security Council resolution goal requiring a truce in the Gaza Strip flopped not long after Moscow and Beijing rejected a goal set forward by Washington. No less than 6,546 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli assaults on the Gaza Strip, while in excess of 1,400 individuals have been killed in Israel since October 7. 12 aid trucks arrive at Rafah. The Palestine Red Crescent Society says it has received 12 trucks at the Rafah border crossing from the Egyptian Red Crescent containing food, medicine, and medical supplies. Overall, 74 trucks have been allowed to enter the Gaza Strip since the war began, but no fuel. Israeli opposition leader slams government response. Israel's opposition leader Yair Lapid has slammed the government's handling of the crisis following the October 7 attack. Lapid, who declined to join the war cabinet formed after the war started, said he gave several recommendations to the government, including better care for evacuated citizens, wider financial protection for reservists, and the closure of what he identified as 8 superfluous ministries. It's possible to understand the shock and paralysis of the government in the aftermath of the assault. It's hard to understand how the government hasn't emerged from the shock, Lapid was quoted as saying by Israeli media. The government isn't present. As domestic pressure grows, Israel must do something, analyst. Differences between Israel and the United States have emerged over the war strategy against Hamas, including the timing of the Gaza invasion and attempts to release captives, an analyst says. While the U.S. is concerned about safely rescuing its hostages and moving defense systems into the Middle East to protect American military assets, Israel is pushing to unleash its long-expected ground attack on Gaza, says Mahjoub Zouiri from the Gulf Studies Center at Qatar University. This comes from the American advisors in Israel who are supporting the operation. This morning the Israeli media were talking about the continuing advice to keep bombing Gaza until there are clear aims for the ground invasion, he told Al Jazeera. But there is also growing domestic pressure in Israel to put boots on the ground, Zouiri added. It's obvious the Israelis, after putting together all those troops on the border of Gaza and having all this military support from the Americans, have to do something in response to the pressure. The second news is from USA. Tragedy strikes Maine, 22 lives lost and dozens injured in mass shooting. A mass shooting in the province of Maine has left something like 22 individuals dead and handfuls more harmed, with the suspects still running wild. The savagery unfurled in Lewiston, Maine, with the first of no less than 3 shooting episodes happening around 7 p.m. nearby time. The underlying call to the police revealed a shooter at a bowling alley, where a kids' occasion was in progress. Presently, one more shooting happened at a close-by pub and restaurant, trailed by third taking shots at a Walmart dissemination center soon after 8 p.m. Reports of a potential fourth shooting provoked alarms all through the town around 9 p.m. City Councilor Robert McCarthy informed CNN that the loss of life had ascended from 16 to 22, with a lot more harmed. Policing occupants to remain inside, lock their entryways, and stay watchful. The Lewiston Police Division shared a photograph on its Facebook page of an individual of interest, recognized as Robert Card. Specialists portrayed Card as equipped and hazardous and exhorted the public not to move toward him. A monstrous police was in progress to find Mr. Card, who was known to have gotten guns preparing at a U.S. Armed Force safe preparing focus in Maine, however had a past filled with emotional well-being issues, including hearable mind flights. As per a state police notice, the 40-year-old had burned through 2 weeks in an emotional wellness office throughout the late spring. Prior, the police delivered 2 photographs of a whiskery man wearing a long-sleeved earthy-colored shirt and dull battle pants, holding an attack rifle. Specialists likewise shared a photograph of an unwanted white SUV with open entryways, looking for data from the general population. Maine State Police gave cautions via online entertainment, encouraging individuals in Lewiston to shield set up and remain inside their homes with locked entryways. Focal Maine Clinical Center's site revealed that its staff was answering a mass loss occasion, including a mass shooter, and organizing with other neighborhood clinics to give clinical consideration to the people in question. Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.